Hello again, everyone. This is Game Collector here, and this week I have a model kit with me. The first one since, I think, the Dark Matter Exia or the RGM Striker, but either way, this is the amazing Exia. I've actually had it complete for a while, and it's been on standby waiting to be reviewed, sort of. Right now, here it is with its Trans Am booster equipped. And like the Dark Matter Exia, it suffers from being very, very back-heavy with its booster equipped. And it's functionally identical to the Dark Matter booster, it's just that it's in blue and white instead of black and red. And this is how the amazing Exia would have looked in the series had it actually done any of that stuff with the Trans Am booster, because it only shows up like this for a few seconds in either, let's see, second to last episode is the fight with the Dark Matter, then before that, second to last, so like fourth to last episode. But the way it shows up in its premiere episode, again, fourth to last, is without the Trans Am booster, and I will be removing these. Just a little side note, one of the parts of the Trans Am booster broke before this, and I'll be going more into that, and I actually have a entire replacement model kit. Not for this though, but it did come in handy for that. So I'm going to set this, better yet, splay out little fins right there. And the other notable difference is that the decals on the sucker are green. Even the little eye decal is green, if you can get a glimpse of the reflection right there next to my thumb. So I'm going to set it off to the side, and bonus comes, whoops, with the GN drive cap, which aside from the little left, right, top, and bottom portions, I painted it. And it just fits on there nice and neat. And this way I can also straighten the arms out. The other thing that this model lacks is that I did not build the GN sword for its hip, because as noted with the Dark Matter Exia, the thing is unyieldy and gets in the way more often than not. So I decided to just completely skip it and not build it. Yeah, I can do that. Another thing of note, before we continue with the model itself, the Mijin, God, I forgot his name I forgot how to pronounce his name already, and he was just on Build Fighters Try like last week. Kawaguchi. Yeah, Kawaguchi. Okay, Mijin Kawaguchi. And there he is in his Build Fighters appearance. There's the screen cap of the amazing Exia, complete in its only appearance in the anime ever. That's like the only time it appears in its complete form, and that's the one scene it's from. I actually got this model a few months before, but at YumaCon 2014, I got Brad Swale to sign it. That's awesome. I also got him to sign the Dark Matter Exias by the Exia. And there it is. All of this. The other reason I didn't build the GN sword is because I wanted to do that at some point. I technically have two GN swords that are on standby because I have an entirely second model kit for this thing. And again, I will explain why in a bit. I did use the color guide a bit, but there's some things on it I couldn't paint perfectly. Remove that. You can see here that I did the lines on this. And bonus. Whoop. Shield spreads open. Don't know why. The book might explain why, but I can't read Japanese. But yeah, right there, and especially on this side, it's really smudged. But all of the little black lines in this sucker, these were all done with my detail pen. Even the ones on the inside of the inner thighs and on the legs. Just, I couldn't do the ones in here though, because that's just way too fine. I couldn't do it. I could not do it. I feel a bit embarrassed that I couldn't, but oh well. And the decal on its rear is kind of coming off. Oh well. But for the most part, I managed to paint in most if not all of the black lines, and I never do the bottoms of the feet, ever. Personal rule. No point in doing it if no one's going to see it, because I don't have any stands for it. I also got the sword rifle done, and I didn't even use the, I actually cut out both of the blades for the dark matter Exia, because I still had that, and just attached that instead. So I have like 2 whole things worth of parts for this saber. So I have 1 blade for the amazing, 1 blade for the dark matter. And speaking of blades for the amazing, bam! My favorite Gundam sword. And it can be held in the pistol grip position, or with a bit of fiddling, it can be held in the sword grip position. And yes, I do have it does have the diagonal hands. I did not cut out all of the Amazing Exia's hands because I didn't think it was necessary. This is like the only sword it needs. GN Sword 2, I think this is? Yeah, GN Sword 2 or Amazing GN Sword. Only sword it needs. Seriously. One of the big complaints I have with the Exia series in general, it's not quite the hips because it's the entire inner workings of the lower torso. It uses a ball joint in the center that's just loose. So whenever I try to move the legs, the entire hip assembly goes forward and back when I only just want to pose one leg. When I try to push one up, the other one goes down, and so forth. So I really try not to fiddle with this one once I get it in a proper standing pose. And honestly, I do prefer the Amazing Exia without the giant, unyieldy bird pack. Tweet, tweet. Although it can still use the GN Tonfa, and I am still terrified to paint my kits with actual paint that, isn't just the fine needle-nosed detail pen. And I'll use the one Tonfa because it already has the giant sword of awesome. The Amazing Sword of Awesome is that's one name for it. There you go. There's the Tonfa. The one hand I did cut out for it. Sorry, I got an itch on my foot. The one hand I did cut out for it is the default Exia open fingers hand, holding, waving, swaying, gripping, trying to grab, that hand. But since it really serves no purpose, I almost never use it. Plus, the ball joints on these things, I really don't like swapping hands on the model kits. It's really terrifying. Because, considering, now if we get in really close, hopefully you'll be able to tell, or not, this is actually, I did do the detailing on the head before I put it on, except after I put it on. Here's why I have a second model kit of this thing. This is actually the amazing Exia's first head. The instructions, and I will hold them out, and I will turn to the page where it blatantly lies to you. Ah, yes. Step 11, right there, where it just shows you pushing the head down. Never do that. Ever. That's how I broke this thing. See, what you should do is going up to step 5, after you manage to assemble the face and get it into the side of the head like so, you slide this onto the ball joint featured in step 1 or at around somewhere like step 2 or 3. As long as the body is entirely built and there aren't many obstructions in the way, attach the head while the cup is still exposed. Now, what I mean by cup, well, most ball joints have a ball joint cup, blah, blah, blah. If you've watched my stuff before and seen some of the ball joint stuff I've done, talked about, a ball joint fits inside of a cup, and that's how it works. This little thing that looks like a U, or, you know, looks like a cup, is the ball joint cup for the head. And while you can't see the damage because I'm holding it incorrectly, and you can't see the damage because of the light and the zoom, this little small portion right here, right next to my thumb on the upper part, that actually chipped off when trying to force this onto the torso over there. And so I had to wait an entire week to get an entirely new Exia, which I didn't do anything with. This is the entire body, all of this up to the head, first model kit. The head, second model kit. The V-fin and the little ear, the arm out of the way. The V-fin and the little mechtenas right there, those are from the first model kit. I simply stripped those off of the first head and put them on the new one. Because what happened was, I did the detail work on the head after it was attached, and I couldn't do it. So when I got the second head, I did the detailing work before I put it together, and then attached it to the body so it doesn't look so mussed up. The eyes, however, are a bit derpy. Slight downside, I live with it. But I am really, really proud that this is like my pride. This is like the second best kit I did, because I'll be reviewing another kit later. However, since I have a spare dark matter booster, going to remove that, because since you did get a glance at that, it shows that the Trans Am booster is actually based off of the AIL Striker system, the AIL Striker, and various Striker units that the RX1, not the RX, the GATX 105 uses. GATX 105 is the Strike Gundam from Gundam Seed. And to get that going for you, I put my first dark matter booster on the amazing Exia. If I can get it to look just right. The red and black looks magnificent with this thing. It just looks, not to, completely use the amazing Exia's name, it looks amazing. The red and black looks great with the red, white, blue, and red, white, and blue. It's probably because of the color contrast, because, the black and the red offset the mass amounts of blue and white. And it just looks awesome and amazing. I can't emphasize that enough, so I'm going to stop right there. It also came with another part like the Dark Matter Exia, since it's just a reuse of the Exia R2, or the Repair 2. The GN Drive Burst Mode, which it can't equip. There is a model kit that I want to get at some point in time that is not the Exia that I will attach this to. I don't know when I'm going to get it, but you damn sure I am. I'm going to attach the Burst Mode GN Drive to it like a boss. But until then, have a standard GN Drive, which can just peg in nice right there, and the GN Shield, or Amazing GN Shield, whatever they call it, as well as the Sword Rifle Saber, I guess. It's a 3-in-1 instead of just the standard Exia 2-in-1. Matter of fact, I should equip this or unequip it. You know what, we'll leave this on, but we'll put the shield off to the side. It's complete. Double jointed legs, a hinge ball joint foot combo. God damn, this is terrifying. I did mention the hips, but I don't want to mess with them because that would completely screw everything up. The arm is on a hinge, which is on a ball joint, which is on a ball joint. Oh no, it's on a peg. There's a peg, and then that ball joint, and then that. Okay, there's a peg connected to a ball joint that's connected to the torso. So that's why this one piece keeps moving all around like that. Yeah, this shoulder attached to a peg, attached to a ball joint, attached to the torso. The head is on a ball joint. Has a single elbow on a hinge, and it has a bicep swivel through a peg. Now I'm going to say this: the next model kit I'm going to do, you're probably going to see this thing again, the Dark Matter booster again, and maybe the Trans Am booster. I'm not entirely sure, but you will see the GN Drive again. And honestly, it's my favorite kit because, oh my god, I did awesome at it. So, until then, this is Game Collector, and I will see you again later.